Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kristen, and today we are going to be talking about fire cider. So there's been quite a few people at work that have been sick lately. The vid's going around again, people have the flu. There's just all kinds of things that have been happening. People just overall just aren't feeling well. And we're kind of in that transition mode where, you know, it's been raining, as you guys probably saw on the front of this video. It's been raining, and so you know, it's kind of cool weather, then it's hot weather, then it's back and forth, and then our oak trees are blooming, so it's just been insane with the pollen. So a lot of like just overall issues going on with health. So I have been doing fire cider for quite some time. I share it with my family and my friends because I really believe in the healing properties of fire cider. I do have the book. It's by Rosemary Gladstone. It's really a good book. It's pretty thick. I love the fact that it has like really beautiful pages on the inside of it, just super fun, and it gives you quite a lot of recipes. So if you're new to fire cider, I definitely recommend that you check this out. Now, this process is made with an apple cider vinegar, and so some people just don't like that, but to me, apple cider vinegar is super healing, so I personally enjoy using it and I like the flavor. So if you want to go and check this book out, I highly recommend it. It's got like super great recipes in it, and today I'm going to walk you through a fire cider that I'm going to be making. So let's get started. Okay, so I went out to the garden to see what I could find, and I tried to get quite a bit of it from our garden. And how I like to start it is I actually have some garlic that's been in our freezer. It's organic garlic. You can actually buy this at Costco or somewhere else if you don't have access to garlic, which we don't. So we just buy the organic one at Costco. Now this is gonna be like a half-gallon size jar. So I'm putting in probably, you know, it looks like 6 cloves of garlic. You can add more or less. Oh yeah, let's add some more. I like to put those elements at the bottom of my jar. I was actually pulling the dill. I like to use dill flowers. They're really super pretty. They're actually really high in the healing properties. So I'm actually, since what's going to end up happening with fire cider, in case you all don't know, is fire cider something that's going to sit for 4 to 6 weeks easily in a cool area of your home, and it's going to ferment basically, and then you're going to drain it, and then you can take the materials that are in here, like once they're dried. I actually have a dehydrator, so I could actually just place it in the dehydrator and then maybe blend it up and make a powder out of it or something like that. But whatever you want to do, some people just actually eat it, which is fine with me, like it's healthy. So I'm just adding dill to the bottom. There's, again, is the dill seeds. Just add the stem and all because, you know, like I have some nasturtiums, which I think are really beautiful. I had some really cool colors that are growing in the garden right now. So check out these colors. They're super beautiful. I'm gonna add those in, but I'm probably gonna just layer this up. So I also had some fennel growing in the garden. I love fennel. It smells like licorice to me, so so it's one of my favorites. My head got really stuffy while I was out there in the garden. Like I said, I think it's because the oak trees are blooming. So I'm just making slices in my lemons. That's one of the things you really need to do a good fire cider, is some citrus. So I have some lemons. We have a key lime tree. So I like to add the limes in. These limes are kind of tough. So I'm adding some limes in. Now you want to start doing fire cider before people start getting sick. It actually helps to boost the immune system. So that's kind of the purpose of it. Here's a tangerine. We're gonna throw some tangerines in. And then the key ingredient is gonna be onion. I love onion. Onion is one of my favorite things. I can just eat onion. I love onions. Now you don't have to take this outer skin off, but since this is a store-bought onion, I did wash it, but I'm gonna go ahead and remove that just because, you know, you just don't know. So you could use a red onion if you have red onion. I didn't have any, so I'm gonna go ahead and just use this white onion. And it doesn't have to be perfect or cut any certain way. You can dice it, you can slice it, you can do it however you like. So I add some onions in. I might need to get another onion. And then I had some of these hot peppers, which I'm not really a big fan of hot peppers, but you need a little bit of heat in that fire cider. So I'm gonna go ahead and add these in. That way they're kind of towards the bottom and they'll stay in there. And then you're gonna repeat your lasagna layers. So some more lemon. I probably should have pre-sliced these, so that way you guys didn't have to watch me cutting them. And then we could just get through this quicker. But I've also used a really large jar. So obviously if you have a smaller mason jar, just follow, you know, as much as you think you would need for a smaller jar. So again, the key is just layering. This fire cider. Like I said, we all use it. My parents use it. Oh, that onion's starting to get to me. I'm gonna start crying. That is intense. I probably definitely should have cut that before I was here, but no, let's do it now. But that's real life, right? That's what I always say. This is real life right here. This is how we do it. Oh, I gotta get rid of these onions. Oh my God, I'm gonna start crying. Oh, they're burning. Oh, they're burning my eyes. They're burning my eyes. Goodness gracious. That is, oh, that's intense. All right, let's get that onion out of the way. Goodness gracious. Yeah, there's definitely other recipes, you know, in this book that you can find, you can use. So depending on what part of the country you're in, you might have some ingredients that, you know, might be easier to get your hands on. So like if you had some thyme, I'd probably throw some thyme in here. I have some dried thyme. I didn't think about it until I actually started shooting this video just now. If you have rosemary, I recommend adding some rosemary to it. You know, and you gotta squish it down. I probably should have taken my ring off for this. But squish it down, pack it tight. Let's add some of that fennel in there now. Give it a nice greenery. It's coming together. Love it. So I hope everybody out there is having a good day. As always, I'm getting home from work, and like I said, people are just not feeling well, so I was like, let's do a short, quick video on some fire cider for everybody. Because who doesn't want to take a preventative measure ahead of time? I do. I don't want to worry and be sick. Now this isn't, you know, going to stop you from getting sick. This is just helping the body boost its immunities so that way, you know, you don't have to work. Ooh, that onion is still killing me. So you don't have to work so hard at your body trying to fight all the funk that's going around. Well, I love these flowers in there. They're so pretty. Let's add some more fennel. And then take the last of these little lemons. Add those in. Add a few more beautiful flowers up here on this top. I probably should have added some flowers at the bottom. Like I said, it's just pretty to look at. I mean, you can make it any way you would like to make it. And then I'm gonna leave these actually for the top because I don't want anything to rise. If you have a glass weight, which I actually do, you can set that in there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use this lid. I'll probably look for the glass weight, unfortunately, after this video. But this is a mason jar top, and they're plastic, which is so much better than using the ones with the metal, because you're going to be adding in apple cider vinegar with the mother. So it's cloudy, but again, to me, it has those healing properties. So I'm going to use the last of this organic bottle let's see where that takes us. Yeah, not very far. Which I knew it wouldn't, but that's why I grabbed the other bottle. But if you don't happen to have a glass, wait. If you've got, honestly, like a rock, you could use a rock. You could use, you know, whatever, a clean rock. You just don't want to put metal in here or anything like that. I'm going to go ahead and use these leaves so that if anything actually rises above, the leaves will hopefully, if any like weird stuff starts happening, these leaves are going to help protect us from getting any weirdness. So I'm gonna go ahead and top that off. And this stuff is so good for you. I mean, this has been practiced for decades, years. I mean, people have been doing this since basically the beginning of apple cider vinegar, I think. Like, it's a great ferment, it helps in healing, and I think this is just one of those things that we've actually lost in our practices. We're so reliant on medicine that we forget some of these steps that we can take to help ourselves. We just get sick and run ourselves down and spin our wheels, and we're not taking care of ourselves. So this to me is a take care of yourself formula. All right, so this is how beautiful it is. This is what it looks like. Look at those flowers on there. And then as you can see, I've got that leaf, that nasturtium leaf sitting right there on top. So this is a beautiful, beautiful mix. I mean, it's just pretty to look at. You're gonna go ahead and keep this in a cool place for the next 4 to 6 weeks. Now, I personally like this to vent because I get a little, like, it could explode the jar if we don't let it vent. The other thing is that we could do is, hold on, I'll get it. Okay, so the other thing that we could do is I actually have a fermenting lid. So I can just put this on the top with a metal ring. Now just make sure that you clean this up on the outside. I can also drop in, here is that weight. I went and found it. This is a mason jar weight. You're just literally gonna press it right there, and look, it just took that right over to the top for us. So perfect, beautiful. I will go find the ring to go ahead and put that around here now because, you know, like I said, you don't want these jars exploding, but you also can't put a metal ring just on the top of it. Now, if unfortunately, if anything starts to bubble or spill over from this fermentation process, it is going to damage that ring, and you will have to buy another ring. But I mean, outside of that, like I said, you could kind of check this every day, screw this lid on top, and just kind of burp it yourself. If you've got like a cool, dark place somewhere in your kitchen that you know you're gonna go back to, then you know you could try that. But a lot of people don't have time. They're like me. We just don't have time for that. So we're just, you know, needing to get through the process of the fermentation and then enjoy the blessing that this fermentation brings to our bodies. So here is the easy process. Like I said, I recommend that you go out and you get this book, the Fire Cider book. It's going to teach you so many things. I could have added ginger to this. There's so many things I could have actually added. But this is a beautiful recipe as well. This is just my recipe. I just threw it together today, and I just want to take some preventative measures in healing. I hope everybody got something educational out of this, and that they'll go home and or if you're already at home, that you will actually try this and let me know what you think. Remember, this isn't delicious per se, this is healing. And I will tell you this before we go, is that you don't just straight up drink this. You're gonna do a shot glass, and you're going to need to mix it with something else, like mix it with orange juice, mix it with, once the fermentation process ends, you can mix it with cranberry juice, something to cut this apple cider vinegar, because it's very strong. It will literally burn your throat, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to damage yourself. You want to heal yourself. So keep that in mind. A shot glass to a full cup or more of juice. You can also add honey, or you could do some warm tea. I don't recommend hot because you don't want to kill the good beneficial bacteria that are going to be fermenting in here. So don't add any hot liquids to it. Cool is best. And if you can tolerate it, I mean, you could definitely do it in some water. You don't actually have to have a fruit juice. You could do something else that you prefer. I have also done this with coconut water, which, you know, again, I like to Personally, I enjoy those tropical flavors. So play around with it, see what you like. Let me know what your favorite recipe is when you are making a fire cider, if you make it, and share with me below. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm so glad that you've taken time out today to spend time with me, and I hope to see you in the near future on another video. All right, until next time, I'll see you guys soon. Hey everyone, so we just got finished making the fire cider, which is super delicious. I found that ring. So see, this is what it looks like. Super beautiful. I recommend that everybody gets out and does the fire cider for prevention of colds, flus, and other things that are coming, and to help support your body's antibodies and autoimmune system. And my head's stuffy because I was outside in the garden and our oak trees are just blooming out of control. This morning when I got up, I literally don't know how it happened. I had made a bunch of, not a bunch, but enough for us. I had made us some garlic and honey. Look how beautiful that is. And I have been keeping the lids kind of very loose on it, so that way it can kind of vent itself. Not super loose, but loose enough that, you know, it can vent. And I do not know how it happened. I don't have cats. There was no reason for this to tip over, but it did. And sometimes that's gonna happen. I mean, there's always accidents that happen. And this jar has actually been fermenting for quite some time. You can see it's liquidy. Not enough time that, you know, that the process is done, but it's definitely been fermenting for at least 4 weeks. So unfortunately, that doesn't mean that we're gonna give up on it. We are going to add more honey to it. I'm also gonna add in a couple more cloves of garlic. It's not gonna do any damage. It'll just maybe strengthen it. I thought about putting it in another jar because you can see the ginger or the garlic is kind of almost like candied. It's super squishy. It's perfect, but it doesn't go bad, honestly. It's just that what will happen is that the fermentation process will begin to slow down and you just consume it. It's good for a long time. It's, you know. So I'm gonna take literally like a handful of garlic. This is another healing process that you can do to boost your autoimmune system. If I really wanted to, I could probably add a pepper in there and give it like a nice kick, but I don't really like spicy. I'm sure some people do. So if you wanted to, you could actually do that. And then I'm just gonna fill the honey back up. So don't think that if something happens that you get, you know, in a position that you can't utilize your product because something fell like that. You can. The honey went everywhere, all over the counter when I got up this morning. Like I said, I don't even know how it happened. It just was all over the counter. It was starting to drip down onto the floor. The dogs were licking it. They're perfectly fine. This is the honey that I'm using. It's the Orange Blossom Old Florida Bee Company. They do ship, and I love this flavor. If you want that beautiful orange blossom flavor, that's definitely the one to get. Now you are going to be able to use a metal lid on this, so I just go ahead and put the lid on it. And here's the thing, is I don't keep it tight because you want it to vent. So any gases that it has, you're going to go ahead and let that vent. Now again, this is a process that I recommend that you let it ferment for at least 6 weeks, so that way it really gets all of the nutrients that it needs out of the garlic and honey to combine to really create that healing property for you. So just food for thought, literally, is to try this. I also have one with onions. I love onions, as you guys know. Onions are one of my favorites. Oh, look, I have it over here. I just washed the lid and stuff and tried to clean it up, but that's what the onion one looks like. It's delicious. All right, so get out there and just try some stuff. You know, I just strongly encourage that. You don't always have to be running to the doctor. There's a time and place for everything. I'm not telling you what to do your own research. I'm just telling you what we do and what has worked. And I think it's really important that maybe we go back to some of these old school thoughts of healing. Our grandparents used them, and so why would we just let go of it? Just because we're in a modern time doesn't mean that we have to step away from some of the natural components of healing. I really think that that's important, and I think that it's a step that we're slowly beginning to lose in our society. So thank you guys for joining me today. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to spend time with me. Hopefully you've learned something. Remember, be kind to your neighbors, love one another, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, I forgot to mention in that video real quick that how you eat that honey and garlic is super simple. You can actually just eat it as like a condiment, like a side. You can just dip it. You can actually just take it with a spoon and just consume it that way. Or you can just, you know, think of it. Like sometimes, I know this sounds weird, but I make my own yogurt, and sometimes I just pour it on top of the yogurt. I mean, it's definitely got a nice garlicky flavor to it. Some people eat it with pasta or spaghetti sauce. I don't really recommend that you get it with too much of warm food. But like I said, if you're using it like, if you have chicken nuggets or even veggie nuggets, you can just dip it in with that, and then that's a nice alternative. So I'm gonna kind of edit this in. Hopefully I'll find a spot for it, because I forgot that I completely failed to tell you guys how to eat it and enjoy it. So all right, I'll let you get back to the video now.